lot of our meetings. All are welcome to attend, and that meeting will take place at 6:30. We will go over the phone banking, the text banking, and the canvassing that we are doing. in Fort Walton right now and Crestview, but we are looking for volunteers that want to do Niceville and Laurel Hill and other areas as Okaloosa, and Destin, as Okaloosa is quite spread out. Then the second thing I have is the NAACP has their Freedom Fund banquet on October 11th at 5 p.m. at the Island Resort. Tickets are $65. That's the Okaloosa NAACP. And you guys might be a little shocked over this. Their keynote speaker is Carlton T. Mayers II, Esquire.
Oh, Carlton.
I just found out, so I'm just sharing so that you know Carlton is our keynote speaker.
Yeah, he did.
So for those of you that you've seen him on the show, he will be in Okaloosa County on October the 11th. And so we invite you, it starts at 5 o'clock, and we invite you to join the Okaloosa County NAACP. And then to give some information on the Okaloosa DBC, which is the Democratic Black Caucus. We have a new president. His name is John Armour. We did our first meeting last Monday. We thank both Derek Scott and Christina Forrest, who came. Derek was there in person. Christina came online. And we had over 30 new people, not just our members. We had over 30 new volunteers that showed up. And we are so excited for the work that is going on across the counties in Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa County. The energy is there. There's so much work that has to be done. And so I would say, if you have not reached out to an organization, whether it be the Democratic Party, the NAACP, your faith-based organizations, I don't really care who it is, but do something. Reach out to someone, find something that you like to do, whether that's postcarding or that's texting, phone banking, canvassing. You can stuff envelopes and bags for us to put on doors. There's just so much that can be done. You can organize stuff. You can just anything that you can do. That's really what we need to do. You can help us reach out to your neighbors and your friends. For me right now, I just think it's critical that we do everything possible to make sure that we don't allow all of the negative stuff locally or in the news to block what has to happen. And what has to happen is that millions of people have to go out and vote, and they have to be educated, and they have to make the right decisions. So we welcome you in Okaloosa County whenever you guys want to stop by. We would love to see you. And with that, I will turn it back over to Mr. Scott.
Thank you so very much, Jill. I appreciate that. Mr. Bill Snow, what you got? How are you today? You're muted.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I'm so glad to be amongst the wonderful co-hosts this evening. I have absolutely nothing. I would like to yield my floor time to Miss Christina Forrest.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that. And Christina, hello. What do you have for us today?
Hello. I just want to thank everybody who came out to our Chucks and Pearls luncheon yesterday. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I know Jill and Derek were on a super long FDP call, and there was so much going on yesterday. If I could, I just wanted to take a moment and read something. Jill Lewis-Daggs was actually one of our award winners yesterday, and she was out fighting the good fight and wasn't able to be there. So I just wanted to read her award statement, if I could. And it goes, "We are honored to present this award to Jill Lewis-Daggs in recognition of her unwavering commitment to women's rights and her transformative leadership within the Florida Democratic Party. As the chair of Democratic clubs and caucuses, Jill has tirelessly advocated for diversity, inclusion, and faith-based leadership empowering countless individuals and communities throughout the state. A prominent leader in the Florida Democratic Party, Jill's dedication to uplifting children and families has been the cornerstone of her life. Whether addressing addiction crises or supporting those facing mental health challenges, Jill consistently goes above and beyond, demonstrating her profound compassion and commitment to follow through 100%. Her steadfast presence, logistical mind, and tireless efforts have made a significant difference in the lives of many. Jill's impactful initiatives extend to organizing hurricane relief missions across Florida and neighboring states, showcasing her commitment to community, resilience, and support in times of need. As a bilingual advocate, she has played a crucial role in voter protection and mobilization efforts, ensuring that every voice in our community is heard and valued. In 2019, Ms. Jill Lewis Daggs was recognized and inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame by the Okaloosa County Commission on the Status of Women. A fierce protector of civil rights, Jill has bravely spoken truth to power, often at great personal cost, to create meaningful change for all. She can be found most Sunday nights right here on Our Voices, the People's Media, as a co-host, informing the community on changes in voting laws and how to make sure your voice is heard. Jill's relentless pursuit of justice and equality has laid the foundation for our club's existence and growth. Jill Lewis Daggs embodies the spirit of leadership and advocacy, and we are grateful for her extraordinary contributions. Thank you, Jill, for your inspiring work and dedication. You are a beacon of hope and strength, and your legacy will continue to inspire future generations. Signed, the Santa Rosa Democratic Women's Club.
Congratulations, Jill.
Well, thank you so much.
That is absolutely wonderful.
That is
Look at
beautiful. Thank
That
you.
is absolutely awesome. Go ahead. I like that.
So she will receive, it was a Chucks and Pearls luncheon. So being one of the award winners, she will receive a pair of pearl earrings, and her write-up will be framed and sent to her.
Oh, look at that. Well, congratulations, Jill. I'm gonna say you're Miss Bilingual Advocate and all that other stuff. I didn't know you was doing all that.
Yo te amo.
But you go ahead, be Miss Bilingual. Now we know. I should have gotten you to write these Spanish translation things that we put in our package. So my bad. You didn't know. All right. Well, congratulations. All right. Your event went well. We take it.
It did. The event went great, and I definitely want to invite everybody out. This upcoming Saturday, the Democratic Black Caucus will be having its fish fry. We're going to start around noon. Plates are $15 a plate, and we'd love to see everybody out there. This helps us raise money to be able to get out the word in our community about voting. It also helps us do our Blue Jazz brunch, and this is our one major fundraiser that we do. And so that'll be again next Saturday, starting about noon. We'll have mullet and probably swai, and again selling tickets for $15. You can reach out to me, or you can go on to Eventbrite, and that's in Milton at the CMF Center, which is 6151 Dogwood Drive. And that's all I have.
All right. Congratulations again. Yes, to your point, sorry we weren't able to make it. I know most all of the senior leadership for the Panhandle, Jill and I don't remember if BJ was, but certainly Sandy Smith, the chair, Santa Rosa, and I were on a very long Zoom trying to make sure that our amendments and our position for the Florida Democratic Party amendments with respect to the 6 amendments that are on the ballot were solidified, as well as the stance on the judges. And I'm sure we'll talk about those in a few. Mr. Vernon, I don't know if you can hear us. Do you have anything for us today? All right. Okay. Well, certainly what I will say is that to echo something that Jill said, if you have not gotten, if you're in this within the sound of our voices, and you have not gotten involved in this election cycle, it is absolutely not too late. I think all counties are in need of all hands on deck. It's going to take everybody to do their part. And it's not just enough to just go out and vote. You got to take people out to vote, make sure everybody's aware of the candidates. But we all have to make each other aware of what's going on. So I think all of us, I certainly will speak for Escambia County. If you have time and you're sitting in your house and you can phone bank, calling voters in either Escambia, Santa Rosa, or Okaloosa counties, please reach out to one of the three of us, either myself or me or Jill or Christina. We can help you with that. If you are interested in canvassing or passing out literature to the Democratic households, or in some cases NPA households, depending upon the county, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of the three of us. If you can stuff literature bags, if you can write postcards, any of those things, there's a place for everybody to do something. It's not enough to just say, I'm going out to vote. As we know, this is going to be a fight for our lives. So we got to go out to vote, but we've also got to make sure we spread the good word in this case. And the good word in this case are the candidates and the election and those that are running, and making sure that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris gets elected to the office of President of these United States, as well as the down ballot candidates, those who are running, Debbie McCarcel-Powell running for Florida U.S. Senate for the state of Florida to unseat Rick Scott, Gabe Alamont for our area running for Congress to unseat Matt Gaetz, Lisa Newell to go up against Matt Gaetz's dad, Don Gaetz. We've got state representatives and Haley Morissette, Francine Mathis, and Keith Gillum, and somebody else in Okaloosa County. We've got a lot of folks that are looking to get into office to make the changes that we all would like to see in our respective counties, but it's going to take all of us to get out and do our part. So anything that you can do, please make sure you go out and do just that. That's all I have. Well, I take that back. I will also say, if you are looking for one of these yard signs like this, Escambia County will have some more in stock. We are currently out of yard signs. Everybody who watches, please listen. You can pause coming to the office. We love seeing you, but we don't have any yard signs until Friday. We will have some with a suggested donation amount of $10. Jill, do you all have any left in Okaloosa, people, and how can they get them?
Yes, we absolutely do. So again, suggested $10 donation, and you can reach out either to the Okaloosa DBC by going to Okaloosa, the letters D, B, and C at gmail.com, or you can call me at 850-259-4735. We have someone located in Crestview, Fort Walton, and Niceville that can meet you, deliver signs. We can go outside of those areas as well, but just so you know, we do have people that are ready to get your sign if you want. And again, that suggested $10 donation is going specifically for Okaloosa County. For the DBC, we're doing the palm cards and door hangers that we're going to share with any entity that wants it. So anybody in Okaloosa County that's knocking on doors that wants palm cards, we're going to share it with everybody to make sure that we get out to as many people as possible.
Hey, great. Thank you for that. Christina, I know you guys have a different yard sign, but do you all still have yard signs available for Santa Rosa County? And if so, how much, and where can they get them?
We do. So our yard signs look like this. They're a little bit different. And our suggested donation price is $15. And that goes to cover the cost of the sign and also help us get out election efforts. We do, BJ Brunius has signs on the south side, and Elaine Reed has signs on the north side. If you reach out to me, I can get you that, and they will deliver within the county. So again, our signs look like this, and they are $15.
So for those who are looking for signs, please know that you can reach out to either one of us to get those signs. We all have them. You heard it here. And each one of us, just so we're clear, because I know there's a lot of different conversations that have been stated, and I want to be clear on what we're saying. Each one of the counties have invested their own dollars with respect to their treasuries. So for Okaloosa, their Democratic Black Caucus spent money out of their own funds. The same with Santa Rosa's Democratic Executive Committee. Same with Escambia has spent. So if you're wondering why there's a fee, it's just to recoup the cost that was outlaid for those fees. But we are not, and I want to repeat. So for those who are maliciously telling people that these organizations are selling free signs, that is 100% not the case. We are selling signs that we pay for. You know, receipts matter, and we can all provide you every one of the receipts that we have spent to have these signs made. So if you hear from anybody else that says we're selling signs illegally or signs that were donated, please know that is not the case. Jill, I know you had something to say.
I just want to add to that Escambia and then Okaloosa and then Santa Rosa, we were the first ones to have signs. So any free signs that are coming in now. The signs we got were because there were so many people that wanted signs, and the Harris Walls team was unable to provide it. So that's why we did it. We didn't do it as a moneymaker or anything like that. We did it because our community asked for it. And so we decided to take funds out of our budget that's not budgeted to make sure that we could provide the community with what they needed.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, there are signs that are going around. The campaign finally sent each one of our counties a limited amount of 100 signs that we got within this last week. And you can tell the difference between the free signs and those that are paid, because in most cases, with the exception of Christina with Santa Rosa, their signs are blue and they just say Harris Walls with a text 30330 or KamalaHarris.com. Those signs that you see, if you see those anywhere, you know those are the free signs. But those 100 signs came and went just as fast as we got them. So to keep up with the demand, because everybody's asking for them, we've gone in and tried to order some additional signs. So if you have questions about that, please feel free to reach out to us. I think there are signs that are in Walton County that they have for sale. I don't know their process, so I'm not going to speak on behalf, but I know I've seen signs floating around over there that are a little different than those that are within the 3 counties. So please, by all means, feel free to reach out. If you have questions, you can contact any one of us and we'll be happy to share that with you. But going back to our original point, we have a lot of work to do. So please be sure that you get engaged, get involved, do what you can. No amount is too little, no amount is too much. So please, this is the time to get involved. If you don't do it any other time, this is that time to do so. All right, I do also want to share, because it is rapidly going around. COVID is still alive and well. So please do all you can to protect yourself, wear a mask. We've started going back to in our office, because we had so many people who were out last week with COVID, to going back to mask mandates in the office. Please make sure you are social distancing, wearing a mask, doing all that you can to make sure that you all are safe. Wash your hands, antibacterial, 2 masks, whatever the case may be, Lysol and all that other stuff. And if you feel like you're sick, stay at home.
Say that again. Wait, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt? That's breaking news. Please say that again.
If you feel that you are sick, stay at home. so that you don't get anybody else sick. So
Sick with a cold, sick with COVID, sick with the flu, sick with a cough,
Yeah.
sick with a runny nose, sick with a
sick with
fever,
anything.
sick with a backache, stay home. Whatever it is, stay home.
Yeah. So that's all that I have on that. But please make sure the new booster shots for COVID, the new formulated boosters are available and out. So if you have not yet availed yourself of the opportunity to get a new booster, now is that time. You can reach out to Walgreens, CVS, Publix, Winn-Dixie or Aldi, whatever the case may be. Any one of your pharmacies, everywhere except the health department has COVID-19 boosters. So please make sure you do what you can to make yourself available and stay safe for yourselves, for your loved one, and the rest of the community. And that's all that I have. So I will turn it back over to you, Mr. McIntyre.
All right. As y'all know, it's supposedly have been another assassination attempt on the former president of these United States. And there are people already reading believe that it was some kind of something that was set up already. You know, I don't know whether it was a conspiracy or he had something to do with it or not, but they are saying that he was supposed to have been an attempt on his life. So, and I'm wondering, is it because he done spilled so much violent language and evil that it's you know, as Malcolm X said, the chicken have come home to roost. What do you think, Bill?
Man, I tell you, bro, first of all, what a difference 1 week makes. My word, man. But as far as it most definitely is not a conspiracy. The ear was not a conspiracy. This fella, the Bible says if you live by the sword, you will die by it. And if he keeps on playing around with fire, get burned. I promise you. He's playing with fire. He's spewing evil. He's spewing hatred. In his venomous mouth is going to be the death of him. I don't wish it on nobody. My worst, I don't wish death on nobody. But that fellow is playing with fire, and these are not conspiracies. This fella is going to end up 6 feet under if he keeps spewing, first of all, hate, then doubling down on foolishness. Man, what an idiot. I mean, I won't get ahead of us with the debate talk, but boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What do you think, Jill?
So my first thought was I don't know if you golf. So we golf. I don't golf. I drive the cart. But our family golfs. Jenna golfs, everybody else but me. I drive the cart. But if you're a golfer, I don't know how they were able to see this rifle in the fence that they couldn't see the man on top of the roof with gun and everybody else saw. But okay, let's just say they saw it. I don't really know that we're sure at this point that that's what he was going to do. How would he have even known he was there? Maybe he was just going to do like the sniper in Kentucky and start shooting anybody. So I wish they would have said a possible assassination attempt or a foiled assassination attempt instead of saying that that's exactly what it was, because the guy, as I know, at least prior to the show, has not come out and said that's why I was there. He could have just been there to shoot people at the golf course, or he could have been practicing to go shoot somewhere else. He could have been doing anything. I don't know what he was doing.
I love that, Jill. I love that fact that you are willing to give that guy the Benny, or give 45 or 34 the Benny.
He orchestrated it. I mean, there's that side. Whatever it was. I don't know. I mean, like when I know their job is to search and look, but they now have gone from, oh, I could not see a human being to I can see a rifle in some heavens. But What I would say is, if
Little
that's
thing.
really what the gentleman was there for, that this is not a way for us to win this election. The way to win the
No,
election is voting. That this
no.
is absolutely not doing anything but putting him back into front and center, something more, a terrible situation, but more positive than everything that's following him right now. So that's probably, Jerry, why you have the conspiracy theories, because he was just everything that's coming out prior to this was so negative, and he couldn't get away from him. His mouth can't get away from it. His VP can't get away from it, and that's what was in the news. And they needed to change the trajectory very, very fast. My original thought, I wasn't at home, I was somewhere else, was somebody was shooting off fireworks or something, and he was just saying, "Oh my God." But I see that it's a little bit, it could be very much more serious than that. But I would say to the American public, this is not the answer. If something happens to 45, then you're left with his VP. And they will win because they will galvanize. Let's beat them the right way by voting.
I disagree with that. If something happened to 45, there's no way Trump's an idiot and Vance is even more of one. I don't see them man, look, with both of them healthy, I don't think they really. Go ahead.
Well, that's not going to happen, so we're not even talking about it, because
absolutely
that we shared that. That's not what I'm saying. I want more for people to know that the answer is vote, not go try to figure out how to get rid of people.
I agree with you.
By voting, it's that simple.
I'm with you on that. I'm not saying kill a guy, but man, it's almost as if he's egging somebody to kill him. Now, granted, he's drowning, and I wouldn't put him staging something out of question, but these two situations were not staged. I just don't see it. This guy is trying to reap what he's sowing. I'm telling you, man, both of them, karma good and bad, are real. So you just have to be careful. And America, not Black America, not white America, but America is sick and tired of the divisive hatred, the vitriol that the Republicans are constantly spewing. We all see that he's got a concept, not a plan, but division is their number one card. And when somebody is attempting to divide his skull, they had better be careful, I promise you.
Not divide his skull. Wait, what?
That's what they, man, them rifles in the bushes are, if one of them catch him right, and ain't gonna be no rallying around no Vance. You let it, man, look, man, he had better change his attitude and fast, because either way, I think he loses, because he doesn't have the temperament to be the president of the United States again. Didn't have it in the first place, but that one snuck by us.
I'll tell you. So, Christina, what are your thoughts? Okay.
All right.
So what I would say is anybody in the public spotlight can attract this kind of violence, and this is violence. That's what this is. And you know, Gabby Giffords was shot in the face, and people on her team lost their life. And so this can happen to anyone. And I don't want to see it happen at all. It's happening in Florida. if anything, I would sincerely hope this leads to better gun sense legislation. I know on his end it won't, but that would be my hope, and that violence is never, ever, ever the answer. We're never going to get where we want to go with violence. And, you know, I think it's really, really early. You know, all the reporting is going to be, I'm not going to say bad reporting, but it's not going to be entirely truthful because we don't have the whole story yet. But anybody in the spotlight, this could happen to them. You know, this happened at a baseball game when the Senators had their friendly game. You know, this happened, you know, just too many times in our history, and it can be anybody in the spotlight. So violence is not the answer. Gun violence is not the answer. And, you know, this could have been a lot worse. Politically, you know, this does, as Jill said, it does galvanize their base because people are going to feel sorry. It creates empathy. It creates a lot of different feelings. And it's definitely not anything anybody wants, but this could happen to anybody on any side, any day of the week, anytime, day or night. And that's what's sad about this, where we are in our country at this time, because this is truly, truly, truly something that I believe we don't have to live like this. This doesn't have to be our normal, you know, and it's just sad.
The saddest part is that campaign is stoking it. That's the sad part. They're stoking it. They're stoking it against the Haitians in Springfield. They keep adding coal to this fire, man. I'm telling you. And if you play with fire, you get burned. But I'm for Vern's sake that he don't go to prison, man. They're stoking it, man. I'm telling you, they have got to get, first of all, some policies to run on that they don't have. Not concepts of policy, but violence. And guess who it's against? You and I, people that look like us, man. Man, come on, man. They're stoking this.
Well, if
That's
you
true.
remember last time, Vernon, it didn't matter that there wasn't a Democrat. They still said that because when he was 17 years old, he gave some money
Yeah.
to some Democratic whatever meeting he was at. I mean, they still tried to twist in Democrat, and he was fully all the way Republican.
I hope it comes out actually that wasn't the plan, although we know that it was. But I just wish, guys, I promise you, I wish that they would tone down the divisive rhetoric that they keep spewing. That's what needs to be toned down. I mean, the message is being sent, but he's not receiving it. And then he doubled down and continued to perpetuate a falsehood that the local mayor is constantly saying, please, y'all stop. First, they're not here legally. They are here legally, and they're not doing what 34 claims they're doing.
Yeah, like eating people's pets.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that.
And I mean, to piggyback on what you're saying, they've had schools and hospitals now facing bomb threats and facing threats of violence because of these horrible lies that they've been spewing. I mean, that is awful, absolutely horrendous.
And the mayor goes a step further and says that they are genuinely decent people that just won't work. They're not doing.
Well, that's like most people in the country, that are working in the country. They are not looking for anything. No, they was asked, as a matter of fact, to come to that place, and in many instances because the place was dying. Springfield was dying, Springfield, Ohio. But J.D. Vance went so far as to say that, yeah, they were making up stuff because Kamala Harris was getting all the attention. They wanted to get the attention.
Wait, I got something to say.
Go ahead, Derek. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
let
Derek.
people get that little
Because
that
yeah,
Jill move.
I got
They didn't see
two
it.
things to say. So I'm gonna circle back to that. First thing I want to say is I want to go back to our original thing about Donald Trump. And I would agree with most you all about the inciting violence, and you reap what you sow, and maybe violence is never the answer in all this. However, I'm struggling with like the point that Jill made. Don't look, because I'm not about to say something crazy. I'm struggling with the point that Jill made, that y'all couldn't see a big old man on a building, on the top of a building, climbing up and saying, "Ooh, let me set up shop. Let me get my aim. Let me shoot about 9 shots," right? But for some reason, y'all got some new Secret Service people that got 10/10 vision that can see a little small AR-15 barrel of a gun stick through a chain link fence that's shrouded in shrubs. You saw all that in your pre-scope, because they didn't wait till the man got there. He traveled, the Secret Service man went ahead to hole 14 or whatever hole it was, I don't know, and started looking around and said, "Whoop, there's a barrel of AR-15 in the bushes in the chain link fence." Y'all saw all that and started shooting. And the man, you missed the man, and he was able to jump in his black Nissan, and somebody said, "Whoop, there's a man with a black Nissan carrying a gun. Let me take a picture with the
Yeah.
with the license plate and everything." And I'm gonna go, "Mr. Policeman, got the picture right here." And y'all gonna catch the man, right?
Yeah, 43 miles away.
All this conveniently, this assassination attempt, conveniently after you have been drugged, your wig done been snatched on this debate stage, because you done got up there and people are calling you all kinds of names but the child of God, because you done got up here and lied on some wonderful Haitians in the city of Springfield, Ohio, talking about they eat cats and dogs, right? I'm gonna take a moment of personal privilege, because I want to address one food on my friend's page, Miss Angela Pace Ford, who got up on my page and tried to tell me that it was real and I shouldn't be playing about something that's really happening because Haitians are eating cats and dogs. She don't know no Haitians. She only know one Black person, maybe 2. I know one of them is me because I know how they are. But she tried to get on my page and tell me that it was real. Now I hope you get back on my page with that same level of energy, vigor, and enthusiasm and say, "My bad," because J.D. Vance sat his self on CNN and said, "Look, if I got to make up stories to get the heat because y'all talking about me on cat ladies and y'all dragging me, then that's what I'm gonna do." And the lady said, "So you'd have made up a story." Look, if I got to make up stories, and then he realized what he was saying, and looked like you got boo-boo on your face. So for all those people who then tell me I need to do my own investigation because it's been reported and it's fact-based, knowing you ain't never been to nobody's Springfield, you don't know nobody's Haitian, you might know 2 Black people in life. Please don't get up here. This is where intelligence and critical thinking comes into play. And I'm gonna call you stupid if I thought you were smart and you believe stupid stuff, then you are stupid. I know that's divisive. I know we're trying to rally everybody, but I'm not gonna ever rally those people because they don't have the wherewithal or the bandwidth to recognize when they're being hoodwinked. So you go on over there and stay and be hoodwinked over there in the corner. But I find it morally offensive as a person who is half West Indian that you perpetuate some foolishness on a group of people just because you getting drugged over some stuff you said. So you calling people childish cat ladies. Oh, I'm gonna make up a thing that says Haitians eat cats and dogs. And now I'm running with that. And the lady who stoked that rumor in Springfield is talking about she feared for her life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad for you. I'm not saying that they should run up and show you how West Indians get down, but I wouldn't be surprised if they showed you how West Indians get down, and maybe you'll learn a lesson. That's how I say it. And I hope I said that as nicely as I could to keep you out of Facebook jail, Mr. Vernon. But that's how I feel about it. The foolishness. I mean, it's crazy. The man got up on CNN and just started running off at the mouth, and then realized, oops, my bad. I didn't mean to say I made it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody listening to him like, what?
What?
Yeah. It took Donald a long time. It took 34 a long time to pick that idiot, man. And he did right. Picked a guy just like him. One that can't stand him, first of all. Kamala should have shot back when he said that Biden didn't like her. She should have shot back with, you need to play the real with your guy talking and not liking you, man. I'm telling you, it took him a long time to pick that idiot, and he's just like him just as bad.
I'm telling you, he sold his soul to Trump.
Yeah.
And,
he doesn't really like him. What he said 3 years ago is how he feels. You don't call a guy all of what he called him, but for the sake of his own career, of course he'll accept this invitation, and he's converted. They don't like each other, man. The Republicans have been infighting. That's why they're in the boat that they're in. They can't agree on anything, man. They're being led by a convicted felon that tells them to throw away a bipartisan bill with immigrations, man. They don't want to fix the problem. They are in complete chaos. Man, if they win in November, boy, oh boy, shame on us.
I'm telling you, shame on this nation.
Shame. Well, that's what I mean. Shame on us if them clowns win.
It's gonna be empty up in here because they intend to destroy everything. I mean, when you look at they plan 25, they intend to destroy everything, and they're gonna use the government to do it. And one of the things, though, some of the generals saying they're not gonna abide by if Trump become president, but he can fire the general. But they were saying they would not be the one to turn people on people in the streets, that's protesting in this country. But they would not be involved in it. One guy said he'd rather be fired than to take orders to turn against the people in America. And but he intended to use the Justice Department to do whatever he want to do. And through the Justice Department. That's unfortunate too. But that's something that we're gonna have to, like Jill say, we got to vote. We'll leave no doubt that we're gonna have to vote and make sure that we vote overwhelmingly to make sure that he don't get into office.
You're absolutely right, Mr. McIntosh. But I want to take pause here to make sure that not only this panel, but everyone within the sound of our voice knows that Madam Kamala did the doggone thing, man, at that debate. Let's be clear man,
Yeah.
that he jumped in the ring with a bear, man, and he was not prepared for that smoke, man. He was, I'm talking about classy, intelligent, knew what she was talking about, was able to bait him, and he would go down those rabbit holes. He just lost it. And man, look, man, I've been watching debates since 1980. And I thought the one liner
Reagan.
yeah, it's not what the president doesn't know that bothers me. It's what he knows for sure that just isn't so. I thought that debate was ranked as one of my, but this last debate, man, if I were him, I wouldn't jump back in that ring either, man. He was humiliated, not just in front of us, but in front of the whole entire world. He started talking crazy. I'm sure his handlers told him, man, don't you go in there talking about no dogs and cats. I'm sure he was, but he can't help himself. He's a child, man. That's how he thinks. And once the gloves came off, man, and his bell got rang a couple of times, it hit him below the belt, guys. Y'all, everybody on here knows what that means. It was, and that statement was, he thought hidden below the belt, but he showed himself. And Lady Madam Kama brought it out, man. She did. On a grading scale from 1 to 10, she got a 10 for sure.
Yeah, she pulled the scab up off.
She did. She drug him. She drugged when he was knocked out. She grabbed him by that orange hair, the part that's really coming out his head, not the toupee part. She drugged him, man.
So
she drugged him.
Bill, if I'm being honest, I think you're grading on a curve.
I am.
To me, a 10 performance would be, not only did she knock it out of the park, but she convinced a multitude of Republican people to say, boom, my bad. I was confused. I thought I was going with Donald Trump, but now I see the light and I'm going with Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, I will agree, she did a phenomenal job. I'm not giving her a 10, but I will say she did an absolutely phenomenal job. And for y'all who want to eat me up in the comments, what would you give her? What would you give her? But I'm not going to give her a 10.
What would you give
her? I'm going to give her a smooth 7.5 going to 8.
Christina, what would you give her?
She give her a 15. Never mind. Go ahead.
Christina, what would you give her?
Then you come to me. Go ahead, Christina. Go ahead. Give your 5,000.
Come on, Christina.
Jill already knows. She already got me at 15.
Amen.
Okay, so here's and Derek tried to say it nicely, and I was like, gosh, do I have to be the one? So thank you, Derek, for saying something. I'm always me. I feel like people are like, oh, here comes Jill. But mine is more level-headed. Did she do what she needed to do? Absolutely. And when I say level-headed, if you watched afterwards, the Democrat, the MPA, and the Republican that they interviewed, mind you, the Democrat said when he finished watching that, he was voting for Trump. So that's how you know it wasn't a 10, because the Democrat said that he was voting for Trump. Now we're going to erase all the Democrats, MPAs, Republicans out there. You need to do the right thing. But I just want you to know that's how you know it really wasn't a 10. But it's not so much she had to do what she had to do, but when they went into it, what they wanted, the three of them sitting there, was a Republican, an MPA, and a Democrat. They wanted policy. She did some, and I guess my biggest thing was the things she was saying. I was on Sunshine's show the week before, and so she wanted to contrast VP Harris and 45. So I did all this research because I hadn't talked to Christina, who could have probably just given me life. And the things that she hit that night were the same things she did in her interview. So they didn't, if you read her interview, watched her interview, then she got on the stage. Now, don't get me wrong, She did what she needed to do to make Trump do what he did. And she did what she needed to do to make the people who thought, oh, she's just a woman, I'm not sure she can handle it, or she was only the VP. No, she was presidential. She was poised. She was on point. But what she didn't do is lay down that policy so that she could get the 10, because to me, she moved the momentum. But if you look at it now, prior to the drama from today, they were right back neck and neck. She had sprinted ahead, and then she dropped right back down because they're still questioning policy, even though 45 don't have no policy.
Exactly.
They don't care. They're requiring her to have policy. He don't have to have nothing. He just got to be 45.
What do you give her? What do you give her?
But if you're talking about, go ahead.
What'd you give her, Jill?
I didn't even give her anything. I gave it was phenomenal. Like I didn't,
Jerry,
I didn't have a scale. I got to give her a scale. I probably would be with Derek about with the 7.5 because of what's still lacking out there.
Where you
But
at,
as
Jerry?
far as on the Trump side, like what she did to when she came out and she was like, "That's why all of your people leave your rallies." I mean, that's all she had to say for him to just go, "What?
What's
People at your rally? What?"
Yeah.
What's your score, Jerry?
Or I used to, when boxing, when Muhammad Ali then was boxing, they used to go 15 rounds, right? Before they cut it to 12.
Right.
And when I watched boxing, Muhammad Ali used to be throwing them punches and and dodging and ducking and
You can't hit what you can't see.
Yeah. Pound for pound for 15 rounds.
Yeah.
And punch drunk.
Yes.
She mopped the floor with it, Miss Folks.
You and I watched the same debate. What you got, Vern?
Because it was a debate. It was a debate. So if I, it wasn't just policy only. It was a debate.
It was a debate.
If I beat you in the debate, and I know it's people saying, policy and all of that.
Yeah, excuses.
But she did talk about policy as far as I'm concerned when she talked about, $50,000 for new startup businesses. When
Right.
she talked about
So
building,
Jerry, I have a question for you. I have a question. She did talk about policy. $50,000 for startup houses. How's she paying for it? Where is it coming from? Where is it going to go? That's what they want to know. The information they love. They said that. Like she gave us bits and pieces, but we don't know. Bill, you can't be the American public because you are already sold. We are trying to win, and to win, we have to capitalize on what people don't know and need to know. But otherwise, we're going to lose while we're sitting on this show talking about 10.
You're basing your score on a Democrat that talked crazy.
No, I'm basing my score on Jill Renee Lewis, who Dags, who watched the show. What are you talking about? I watched it.
Okay, Vern, what's your score? 1 to 10. She spanked it. She spanked it.
She did that. She did. Yeah. So, I missed that last night.
Hey man, what they did, Vernon, is that boy did 34 didn't even have, he had a concept of a plan, and cause our girl didn't go a whole way with policy, they got her down around a 7.5. Man, please, man, y'all watch a different debate than I watch, because I promise you, she spanked that, like Vern said, she spanked that.
Wait a minute. Let me
I'm
just
not arguing
clarify.
that she didn't do a great job,
Wait,
nor
Derek,
did she.
Derek, wait.
Uh-huh.
Bill, now I have now figured something out. Your relationship with Vernon is so strong that he went up 0.5 from what Derek and I said, and he's okay. But because we were 0.5 under him,
you missed the second part. The second part was a 20. What's between 20 and 8.5? What we landing around 13.5, 14?
8 on exactly the points we were making. We said 7.5, and you gave Vernon a pass. So 0.5, and Derek and I off the show.
I'll say this. So she started so I said, "Oh, okay, we coming in swinging." When she walked across the stage, she's like, "You gonna shake my hand? I'm gonna teach you how to say my name." I said, "Oh, she got it. She got it. She started right." But the first question was, "Do you think the economy?" Go ahead. Wait a minute now. You're the only person that heard that. So I thought I was like, "Oh, we got this. She finna come in and show them, right? Right." And then the first question was, "Do you think the economy is better off now versus then?" And I fully expected her to talk about inflation reduction, chips and sciences, all the stuff that we have done. And she talking about something that didn't have nothing to do with the question at hand, right? So I was like, "Oh Lord,
oh
no, like come on." Now, to be fair, now if I'm clear, neither one of them answered the question, but the question was a very specific question.
You got to get the jitters out of the way. You know them opening them jitters, man.
I need you to answer she's an attorney.
When she loosened up,
she should be all right.
She came with that smoke, man. We got to give Cheryl a chance. Cheryl, what?
Wait a minute. No, wait.
You watched the debate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. How did Kamala do?
Wait, Bill. Now, think about a gymnastics. You know what a 10 is.
I don't want you to taint her.
When you have jitters, then your jitters gives you a 9.87.
I don't want you to taint Sherry's opinion. So then you go ahead, Sherry. What?
Give her a solid 8. I think she did very well. That first question, I agree with Derek, because I was cringing a little bit from her not answering.
Y'all tainted her response.
What are you doing?
Right. The response didn't it didn't go with the question.
In no way.
It was because we were at the same watch party.
Look, she took a jab. I agree. But man, she bounced back so beautifully, man.
Yeah, but that's not
it's not a jab. About that. You just fell on the ground.
We still have to call out. She answered incorrectly on that first question, and she
just didn't answer. It was all.
Well, because she went in.
Is the economy stuff? You start talking about blue skies. That ain't answering my question. Just because you articulately delivered a phenomenal response about blue skies, my question was about the economy, and it was a swing and a miss. So I don't even think that's a jab. She just said, "Look, I'm gonna lay down on this one, and I'll get back up, and we gonna start performing." Now she got a groove a little bit later, but to me, when there were opportunities that I thought were layups. If I'm using a sports metaphor, that's me with the sports metaphor. That she decided to take. She just didn't do nothing. Like she either didn't take the shot or she tried to do a 3/4 court shot from way on the other side of the half court line. It just didn't go. Now I love her to death, Now there, if you heard me in there, I was screaming, "Come on, Silk Press!" because that, like, it activated, right? So I was with her on that, on when it was time. But I was like, "You gonna no."
Man, when Kamala looked that clown up and down and said that this clown invited the Taliban to Camp David and looked him down before she said her next few, man, that y'all, you can't write that. She did so well that little old not answering that question for you guys to hold her in contempt is disgusting, man.
No. I don't think it's that. Now. It's just calling out it. You know, the first part, it was a little rocky, that first question, but she did get her groove and she did
get her mojo.
Debate.
She did.
And that's fine.
Cheryl, Christina, help me out.
But Christina don't need to help you because what you're saying is this. I think the way you, Christina, and Jerry saw it is exactly the way. No, Vernon was at 8.
No, Vernon said 20 and 8.
8 and a million. 8 and a million. He was with us on one part and he was with y'all on one part. So we're gonna leave Vernon in your little safe spot that you put him in. So for Christina and Bill and Jerry, you guys are looking at it from that love of a Democrat.
Watch this.
He did what we need. Wait a minute, Bill. No. Just give me a minute. The love of a Democrat. Like, yes, I can't speak for Derek. I'm looking at it as how the HELL do we win?
Watch this.
And for us to win, that was a question they asked her in the interview. She didn't answer. It was a question they just repeated. She didn't answer. And when you heard people talking, they were like, well, so are we better off or are we not? And if she can't say, as the VP of the United States of America, about to be the president, that we are better off, there's a problem.
You guys are professionally astute to politics. Facebook, if you would help me out, let us know what Kamala did on a scale of 1 to 10. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Help us out because we got some people that obviously didn't see the same
okay, and then
debate
can we just add that on Facebook, make sure those respondents are MPAs and Republicans. Please, this time, weigh in and share with us what you thought so that we can win, because that's all this is about. Whether you give her a 10, you give her an infinity. The end part was that we've got to win.
Absolutely.
Go before you go to your favorite part.
Let me ask Derek this. Derek, why do you think she didn't go with the CHIP program and the other programs? What
honest, I think the answer to the question is that it's complicated, or well, it's not a straight yes or no answer. So, but as articulate and as intelligent and as poised and as put together as Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is, I expected her to formulate an answer around it being complicated or whatever the reasons, or we put into place chips and signs, the Inflation Reduction Act. We're seeing this, we're seeing gains. Do we have a ways to go? Yes. Are we where we were in 2016? No. Do we have ways to go? Yes. I mean, there's some answer that you can arrive as the vice president currently sitting in office of these United States. But to completely just act as if you ain't hear it and just talk about what you want to talk about is a little strange to me. So for me, like Jill, I am in the place of it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what Bill thinks, it doesn't matter what Mr. McIntosh thinks, or Christina, or Cheryl, or Mr. Vernon, because all of y'all are voting for Vernon. I mean, voting for Vice President Kamala Harris, right? So it does not matter. What I am interested to knowing is that the person who is on the fence, or the person who was Trump, after hearing her, are they now, I am voting in the interest of democracy? That to me is what makes a 10. Not, did you look him up and down? Did you bait him into talking about cats and dogs? That's all.
That's all part of it. That's all
That's all
marketing.
Jones.
I
Yeah,
interrupted
but people
Christina, so
who
you
are
guys
looking
please
for
let her talk.
policy aren't interested in the theatrics. They're interested in the policy of it.
Our
And
first
so
response.
I think there was a miss for that.
Our first
Cheryl,
response
you
on our
had something.
Facebook stream is I agree with Derek, Jill, Cheryl, and Mr. Vernon on 8. But Jazz Red over in Mobile says vote blue.
Yeah. Right. Right. Now, see how you just came up with that savvy, sophisticated? That's what I expected Madam Vice President Kamala Harris to do. But instead, she went on to something that didn't have anything to do with the topic at hand. So if I'm being true to what I said, because I even text Jill, I was like, oh hell, we in trouble. Like literally after she answered the first question. Now, afterwards, I was like, oh, okay, we straight, we good, we good. And it just looked just completely avoided the question. Yeah.
I wish I
I
could
go get gas. Yes, the other day it was $2.50.
I wish
We gotta let Christina talk because remember I interrupted
sure.
her.
okay, but I just wish we could get Taylor Swift on the line.
Sure, you had something.
So one,
Just voted on women's rights, but go ahead.
So I haven't enjoyed a debate so much since I actually had to look it up since it was Bush, Clinton, and Perot. This debate was amazing. I absolutely loved it. That doesn't mean that there wasn't opportunities where she could have done better. But when you can, the debate is usually in comparison to who she's debating. And so she was calm, collected, smooth. She was great throughout the entire debate. But when again, it's what are you comparing her to? How well you wanted her to be or against who she's debating? And those can be two different answers. And so I don't think that Jill or Derek or Cheryl are wrong in their perspective. I think it's very fair. And there were other things that weren't mentioned that were also opportunities to open up for. But when you look at the debate performance as a whole, I don't know anybody who's done better in the past. Like in any past debate who's done better. So yeah, I think she knocked it out of the park. It doesn't mean that there's not things left that could be done better. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know anybody whose debate performance has been better in recent modern history.
Yeah, Rose Williams on our live Facebook stream said it appears that her interview with local news stations in Philadelphia also fell short when discussing the economy. But T. Taylor says debates don't win elections, but I think she missed some great opportunities to remind him that during his 4 years as president, he promises he didn't keep and of his many failures. Jazzy Red in Mobile says vote the blue wave.
So Bill.
What?
Wait,
I thought she would have.
Are you
ahead,
apologizing? Because you asked the voters and the people that are watching and they kind of agree.
They are in unison with you guys, I assure you. I'll be the first one to eat crow. And according to the viewers now, I'm a big enough guy to say, hey, you guys are right. As far as your view on it. But look, Christina, Jerry, and Vern, man, I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down just like that clown does. I'm doubling down. My girl my girl hit a grand slam. The bases were loaded. She knocked it out the park, guys.
Yeah, I see nothing that I could give Trump. The first thing come out of his mouth was a lie. And the last thing that came out of his mouth was a lie. You know he was lying because his mouth was moving.
Yes.
So, it was nothing he said. He didn't have not one policy. He didn't have nothing to bring to the table. And she asked about the Affordable Care Act. He got a concept. He had a concept.
Concept of a plan.
Absolutely nothing to bring to the table. He did nothing in 4 years but get rich that $3 trillion that almost broke that put us in the hole to cost us up to $7 trillion more. He done nothing, absolutely nothing, but except forced the Secretary of the Treasury to put his name on a check that is black people still running around talking about Trump gave him a check.
Right.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gave a check. They gave tax credits to people with children. They put in the infrastructure bill, the chip bill, the climate bill. I mean, the list of things that they have done goes on and on. But that was a missed opportunity for Kamala at that first, because I noticed that when she skipped over it, I'm like, okay, you got all this stuff that y'all can put forward, and but she redeemed herself for.
She redeemed herself.
She redeemed herself. And when she looked at him, said this, what he wanted. She wanted to say this because I said it for her.
Cheryl, go ahead.
Yeah, but she mopped the floor with that dude.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Kamala Harris had a lot to address during her limited time on that debate stage. A lot of people were asking, well, who is she? What has she done? And there's so much that she has done. So without just rattling out all of her accomplishments, it was like she had to find a fine line of
a happy medium.
Happy medium. Thank you. On what she's done and what she plans to do. So I think in that respect, she did do very well. And then she had also a very unstable opponent. So you don't know what he's going to say, or there were moments where I was like, he is one insult away from saying the N-word or calling her a big, because it was like, you could see it in his face, like, how dare you question me, or how dare you, he just kept getting angrier and angrier in his facial expressions as she, called out his BS on the other side. The split screen was everything, because he was directly at him, and he couldn't even turn his head in her direction. So for as much, as many things that were going on at that time, I think she did extremely well.
34 didn't answer any questions. And our sister don't answer one, and she fails the debate.
And also, people seem to hold people of color to just a different standard. He has lowered the bar in politics so much. So some of the conversations, I just have to say this real quick. Some of the conversations that I hear out in the community is like, oh, well, who I'm going to vote for, because I don't know what she's done. If she just sat idly by just being a regular human being, it would be more of an accomplishment that he's ever done. This man has never had a job. He's never, really gone to school and did any work. So the comparison, there is no comparison. So she had to let people know who she was, what she was about, and that she's not in there to play any games. At the same time, not coming off as an angry Black woman, because the moment she, makes a face or, shows some confidence, she comes off to some as an angry Black woman. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hey guys, on our Facebook stream is very active tonight. T. Taylor says, let's not forget that Trump has never done well at a debate. All he does is lie with theatrics. She was well prepared for him, and he was afraid to try her. Diane in St. Louis in Arkansas temporarily says she didn't fail, Bill. She was an 8. But Helen Stokes says, he was very rude in not wanting to acknowledge her and shake her hand. And Jazz Red and Mobile says, vote the blue wave. She's sticking with that. Vote the blue wave.
Cheryl, you were going to say what your favorite part was. What was your favorite part?
Oh, yes. So there was a moment where she was like, this, and she held that S, and I was like,
Yeah, because I said it for.
like, and then something, there was like a meme going around, or real whatever, on what her favorite curse word was in the beginning.
But I don't think that's what it was.
With an R. And I was like, that's the word
she said. She said, didn't end with the ER, said it ended with an
Look, man. In the moment, I heard piece of crap. That's what I heard.
No. No. I think we all heard the M.
We all heard it was clear what she said.
It was the loudest silent cuss out that I've ever experienced, because she went in and said,
former president.
And
you heard it. It was
that was everything.
It was clear. It was the most loud curse out that I have ever heard from somebody who didn't curse nobody out. I was like,
yes.
Jill, you had your hand up. What you was gonna say?
I did, because I'm not sure. But so that was one of the things. The other thing, if you notice, he never looked at her. They told him the reason he didn't let that word fall out of his mouth is because he didn't look at her. Had he turned his head one time, it would have came out, because that's just who he is. And they told him, whatever you do, you look straight ahead, you look forward. He never once, not even glimpsed out the side of his eyes. He just looked forward on purpose, because they knew.
$20. Because I just knew
I
gonna say it.
Go ahead, Bill. Say what you gotta say.
I don't know that they told him not to look at her. Man,
You've been wrong all night, so let's just go with that.
Intimidation factor made him not look at her. They didn't go out there and tell him.
They said, "Don't get out there."
Not when she called his name.
They had no idea he was going to lose that miserably. They did not tell him. They didn't do
it because of that, Bill. They did it because he has such a volatile response to everything, that him looking at her, he's going to see she's black. Because remember, in his mind, he don't know. But as soon as he saw her, that word was going to fall out of his mouth just because.
Yeah.
So he don't look at her.
But he doesn't look at her as black. She just turned black. black to him, so he
Right,
don't see her as
right.
black.
So she wasn't black at that moment, but
What
if he
Jill
looked at
saying,
her,
the
all
N word was
the words
was
would come
gonna
out.
fall
She
out
didn't
his
need
mouth.
that. So.
But he
anyway,
don't
my
see
other
her as
point
black. He said she just turned black, so he doesn't see black when he sees her.
Yeah, but
my other
N
thing
word was
was
gonna drop out. That's what he talking about. That's what you talking about. That N word
right.
was gonna drop out.
He would have just it
You
would have
tell he had
fell
been
out his
coached.
mouth every time he was talking. The other thing that I really appreciated that he did was when he was talking about women's reproductive rights. And he went, they're going to kill babies 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months after they're born.
Yeah.
They're going to have an abortion after they're born. And I went, you are a fool. But thank you for doing that. Because that other girl that was an MPA was like, that's what pushed her over the edge. They're not killing babies after they're born. That isn't even an abortion. I mean, it was just that clear because he was on his role. So he helped in that way, even though Kamala came back and was like, nobody's killing babies. And she went into exactly what she needed to do, that personal touch of telling
Lindsay Davis fact checked
stories.
Hey, Ron Helms is helping me out on our Facebook stream. He says he did not look at her. He is still not acknowledging she is black. Thank you, Ron.
Okay, but that's not why he didn't look at her.
That wasn't what they
Because when he looked at her, he would have to acknowledge that she was black, and he would have let those words that some people in our own counties use. But anyway, let's not go there right now.
That was another missed opportunity also when he was talking about women's reproductive rights and the abortion thing. She had an opportunity to really go kind of low, considering that he does have, those convictions, involving sexual assault. But I'm glad she did bring that up at some point during the debate.
I think she did a good job in expressing how she felt about the abortion issue, and bringing it to the stage the way she did, and with talking about women bleeding out in their cars, and the doctors who are afraid, that they will go to jail if they, treated, So she made the case for reproductive rights in the country. I think she did a good job.
She did.
I'm gonna have to say, I think the point at which she activated, because I was like, oh Lord, come on now, we can't go through a second set of debates, because if you don't handle this one, we don't know. It's a wrap, right? When that man started talking about her daddy, it was like her mama this and her daddy a Marxist, and she said, I saw her say, okay. And so when she said, I saw you, okay, okay, I got you. Like that's what she did, and when that's took it, she said, boom, I'm coming out, ta 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 ta. That's what she did. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And you could tell to the point she was still harboring some, like she wanted to cuss, because she already told us, what was that? That was a Daily Mail interview that Cheryl, that you were referencing, when the interviewer asked her what her favorite cuss word is, and she said, oh, I can't say. It starts with an M and ends with a not ER, but So we knew what that was, right? And so when if you go back and watch the clip, you can see the form in her mouth. Like it was like this.
Yeah, I helped her out.
And then she had to work it out. Like, no, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it on TV. And so she said, former president. And I was like, go ahead. But we heard you. There were several things that you could have placed in that gap, right? That fit. But it was to me that she wanted to say this. I was like, what? I was like, hold it, but she held it. And so I was.
Yeah, she had to help that one back.
She's an expert at needling, because she said, she started talking about people committing crimes. She said, I found it rich that you're talking about people who are committing crimes, that you've been committed of felonies, sexual, you've been held level. I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, self-press. That's what I'm talking about. The power of that self-press pushed through, and we were good. So I have to admit, she gained her footing, but it took a minute. So that's why I still say you can't have a 10. Jill, what you got?
Okay, so this has been such great, lively conversation, and Bill, I accept your apology. At this time, we have some breaking news, and we want to invite our listening audience to share in it with us. We will start with Miss Cheryl.
Okay. So today is a special day because it's Sunday and our voices is on, right? But it's a special month, it's September, the Virgo month. And today is especially special because it is the day that a very dear person was born. So to Derek Scott, you are an amazing man. Derek Scott, you are a champion. Champion for democracy. Derek Scott, we all love you and we want you to continue the fight. I'm being silly, but Derek, it's been such a pleasure knowing you and being able to work with you and fighting the good fight. And just want to wish you a very sincere and heartfelt happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I love all of you all too. So
We're not done.
oh, fine.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. So next person.
Well, I just want to say I met Derek when he was in high school. In high school, in the International Baccalaureate program, and we started working together. Back then, I always knew that he was going to be a great person because of his discipline, his action, the things that he was so into his work and the things that he was doing. And I'll say that, yeah, we expected great things from him, and he's proved that point. And the only thing I want to say is happy birthday, and hopefully many, 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 many more. And keep doing what you're doing because you're great at it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
So I just wanted to say happy birthday. You are one of the coolest people to road trip with. I know if I ever want to stop at a Waffle House, you are always down and you won't make fun of me. And what folks may not know is Derek Scott's also a great dancer. He's got some TikToks up of himself dancing. And I got to see it firsthand last year at the Hispanic Festival when he was going around registering voters. It is just so awesome. You are an incredible leader. You are so strong, so personable. You bring everybody into the fold and you work incredibly hard. And you definitely, definitely, definitely follow through. You're an amazing person, and I'm so glad to call you my friend.
oh, thank you.
I want to say, man, it's kind of hard to find a starting point. I've only known Derek for a couple of years since he's joined us here on Our Voices, and the Derek that I have come to know from different events, him chairing the Democratic Black Caucus of Escambia County, all of what he does tirelessly, and to be a young man that has actually helped us so much as far as the technology of this program goes, sending out the information and the links early on, all of what he does for the people, the people, all of what he does, man, tirelessly, constantly. And then when you text or call, has the audacity to answer your call, I mean, in a timely manner, man. All of who he is and what he does is just a nice person. I will say that the very first time I actually met him in person, I could not believe that he was as tall as he is, because having been on the show 6-8 months before I met him and actually saw him in person, man, he's a giant for those people in TV land that have not seen him. But he and I have had heart surgery for the same condition, which makes us brothers. Man, I love you, man. I love what you stand for. I love the fact that you shoot from the hip, man, because all I know is straight, man, no chaser. But thank you, man, and happy birthday, Derek, man. Awesome guy.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. You all the way through. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate that. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much.
I'm not done.
Oh,
Okay. So I get to go last. Thank you guys. Because I'm listening to all that stuff and I want to say, yeah, but what about when Derek did this? What about when Derek did this? And what about when Derek did this? So that, hey, you shoot like you say what you mean. He absolutely does that. He sticks up for you. So I guess the Derek I know, when I first met you, I'm in a wheelchair, so it wasn't so much that you were tall. You were just very helpful. And it was at that rally that you had in Pensacola. So you helped me, told me where to park. He helped me get around. Then he went out to eat with Ellis and I, and he thought Ellis and I were dating. Which is all this stuff. I don't even know why. We were just nice people from Okaloosa. And then that turned into a wonderful friendship and meeting all of you and enveloping all of our relationships together. So it's been great. He has a phenomenal mom, and your mom was not going to call in. So I'm just telling you that your mom says happy birthday, but she's not killing me right now. But I tried to get her to call in. She's like, I'm not calling in. Derek will be mad. So you can just be mad and know that your mom loves you and that she's so glad that you're her son. And we're so glad that she allows us to share so much of your time away from her. But I would also say that you're always sticking up for us, even sometimes when we're not right. Derek's not going to let anybody talk bad about you. He's not going to let anybody do something wrong about you. And for that speaks volumes. I had the privilege of talking to Derek when Derek was like, no, I don't think I'm going to be the DUC chair. No, I don't think I want to do this. And no, I don't think no, I prayed about it. No. And the next thing he's the DUC chair and he's knocked it out of the park. We have completely transformed Escambia into what it should be, which is collectively representing the entire community. And I know this is really, you guys ready for this? Derek will tell you, are you ready? That he's an introvert. How many of y'all believe that? None of us. But he always said, like, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. And he gets up and he talks. I'm like, you talk all the time. You never stop talking. So it's not like you just talk. You just keep talking. Introverts don't do that. And so I met his brother, and his brother was like, well, he used to be an introvert. And I'm like, okay, I'll believe that. Maybe when he was 5. But the Derek I know, and unless there's a different definition from introvert, which there probably is in his book, because Derek, he has his own vocabulary also, again, where the rest of us say again. But I can't remember. I think he says plantains instead of plantains, but whatever it is.
That's the correct way to say it, plantains. Yes.
He has his own vocabulary that he gets from wherever. You say something about the other things he says. Fanta and Fanta and all of that.
Gala. Instead of a gala, it's a gala.
Yes, gala. So and I guess that's because Vernon, Bill, Jerry, because you guys said he's so intellectual. So maybe the rest of us aren't as intellectual as you are. And this
let's not forget a game.
This really is just an opportunity for us to say how much we appreciate you and how fabulous you are. And not to make anybody cry, but I know Miss Carol's looking down saying, yep, that's my Derek. Yep. I knew him when he was younger. Like, I know she is. So just, I'm sorry. And but I want you to know that, because she always loved you like that.
Yeah.
And so for us, we're just glad that you share the good and the bad parts of you, even when you get mad at me all the time and don't talk to me for like a week. It's okay. Because eventually he will call and be like, okay, I'm over it now. I don't know why anybody gets mad at me, right? No, I have my own little issues. But this is all about Derek. And Cheryl had a birthday too, so we should probably do a round table for her. But Derek, we absolutely wanted to say happy birthday and thank you for who you are.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you for that. I don't even have anything wrong. I'm now going to regress into my introverted ways. That I don't know that I have a response because I was not expecting that. I just say I'm happy to know all of you. I love all of you guys just as much. And I'm though I was inside the house, I feel like I've done something today for my birthday. So I thank you guys for sharing it with me, and I thank you guys for don't keep the fight up. If you give me anything for my birthday, just continue the fight for the rest of this 51 days, as I'll say, for the election cycle. And then we can all plan on how we're getting to Washington, D.C. for the month of January.
Yeah, man, I'm there. I'm there.
I'll tell you.
I promise you, I'm there.
Well, it's historic moment in history. Yeah. Yeah. God, she gonna win.
Yeah. I wanted to say, because we did, to Jill's point, Cheryl had a birthday. And I absolutely love this lady. I've known her for such a short time, but like we have, it finally clicked the other, just a couple of weeks ago when we were like, "You're a Virgo." That's what it is. Like, it makes whole sense. We know Virgos. I think we're both textbook, and like to see. I always knew she was brilliant and politically savvy. We tried to get her earlier on in other campaigns, and it didn't work out like that. But I think when we always say we try to plan and God laughs, like clearly God had all this worked out, and it was like, Derek, sit your ass down, excuse me, because we got this. And he put her with Cheryl and with Haley, and just to see that campaign and all that they do, and seeing as it's like how powerful it's become as a campaign, I couldn't be more proud. I'm glad to have you as a friend. Glad to have someone to talk to who gets me, in addition to Jill and Christina and Mr. McIntosh. Although I think Mr. McIntosh got to know me a little bit better when we went to Orlando. He saw a little bit different side of Derek than what we see on the show. So, I'm happy to say happy birthday to you, our belated birthday to you. And we are glad that you are a part of our tasting stuff.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you so much.
Happy birthday, Cher. Sure. Belated.
So let's talk a little bit about the Taylor Swift endorsement. So I know the right wing has gone crazy. They said she's gonna lose money because she endorsed Kamala Harris. Said she only got like 90 million followers and admirers. So I'm sure she's gonna lose a lot of money because she endorsed Harris. What is your thought, Bill?
I really don't see her losing a whole lot of money. That's just right wing rhetoric. They always we've got to give it to them. They always counter, man, and it seemed like they were waiting to counter. We know that RFK went to both camps, and the Democrats, said, "No, we're not giving you a position in our in our administration beat it. And he went to the right. And of course, they'll take anything they can get right now because they're desperate. But I don't think Taylor Swift is a giant in the entertainment industry, like her or a hater. But to speak negatively about her, I think affects the Trump administration negatively. But that's all they know. But you gotta give them two thumbs up. They are always no matter what, they are ready to counter, man. And if we got on the defense, I think we'd be a lot better for it. We've got to be ready for everything, because it's coming down to the wire. And that big bomb has not landed yet, but it's out there with our camp. I promise you, there's a bomb out there and it's coming, and we need to be ready. We need to be aware of it, first of all, but it's coming. They're going to drop something on us, and we've got to be ready. And I sure hope that we are. It's out there. They're sitting on it too, man. Because they stoke hate. This is their side stokes hate. They want a bunch of Haitians and immigrants because they want to get them here to register to vote for fear of a black planet. All of that stuff, that's all they have, and that's what they stoke. And you got that diehard base that I say went from 33% probably to about 20%, but it's there, and they are die hard, man. It's a hate campaign. That's all they know is fear. You already know the answer. You already know the answer, bro.
Well, and on top of that, when you before we go there, Taylor Swift. When you think about Taylor Swift, she go and she blow up economies. Where she go. She one country she was in said she brought so much money to to the economy they didn't want her to leave from over there. And everywhere she go, her and Beyonce blow the economy up. The economy just flourish wherever they go. The people say their restaurants and their hotels and everything just get jam packed out when her and Beyonce is on the road doing their tour. And if they think she gonna lose a dime, they are crazy as hell all outdoors. Cause if when she go overseas, everywhere she go overseas is sold out by the hundreds of thousands of people, not 10,000, not 20,000, 100,000.
Yes.
In Japan and Europe, all over wherever she's gone. So, I was looking at the record, I'm like, this is some kind of stuff. And those tickets are not cheap.
She's a money-making machine.
Those tickets are not starting at $300 some up to, $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000.
So what you're saying is 10% of his United States base can't even afford the tickets.
Right. And same thing with Beyonce. It's people, they sacrifice a lot to get those tickets, but those tickets can run you up with $30,000, for when they're scaffolding to, if you getting down on that front row and the front seat and all that. That's a lot of money, So I'm like, wow, how do they think that, she's already a billionaire probably?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So how do they think they're gonna hurt her? She got her own masters that they're gonna make her money forever. She remastered her own stuff. I was reading, I'm like, this chick is bad to the bone right here. So I don't know what they talking about that she gonna lose. She's not gonna lose a dime, you know. And because they can't do it like they did the Dixie Chicks. The Dixie Chicks was they were Southern country girls.
Yeah.
They messed over them big time. But Taylor Swift is the stuff.
But the chicks weren't international. They were not international. So America could sink them. But Taylor is international. And like you said, Jerry, her money is made abroad.
And the fact that they're sitting here like burning her merchandise, I'm like, that girl don't care. You bought it already. That's you that have spent $30 or $40 on a t-shirt, and now you don't burn it, so now you don't have a $30 or $40 t-shirt to wear. He lost the money. You're like, okay, do you? I bet y'all gonna buy it right back. So it doesn't matter.
And then she threw a jab after Kamala had done my childless cat lady.
Yeah.
She wanted in on that fight. Signed it, childless cat lady.
So I'm just so grateful that she's using her platform to bring positive light to Vice President Kamala Harris and talk about women's rights. And she's multifaceted, talented. She plays multiple instruments. She sings. She writes her own music. She's just very, very talented. And for somebody to step out the way that she has to speak up politically, I think it's great. And I'm just very glad that she did, because not everybody would. And so I'm just glad that she's doing that. And, at her concerts, you can register to vote for the ones that are local. I mean, it's pretty awesome to see someone using the stage, being an activist, and, making change literally wherever she goes. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and she has, it reminds me of when back in the day when they did use music to help propel the civil rights movement and all of that. So, but lately it hasn't happened on a scale like it was back then. And Black musicians need to scale up,
and athletes.
Yeah. Athletes, everybody need to scale up. Yes. And, and there's a lot of them, they donating a lot of money to her. They might not, be the ones speaking out, but they donate that money. And, when you can raise $47 million in 24 hours, you some kind of awesome. That means people like what you are saying and doing. And you have fired up a community of people around this country. And I'm still looking at another, some people down in South Florida, and one of those strongholds was down there again today playing Beyonce music. That Kamala Harris used in her presentation.
Yeah. Didn't 45 a former president
34
40 what's that?
34. 45 is the new 34.
Oh, okay. I'm like, all right.
I was like, why? I wonder why you kept saying 34. I was like, what 34? I don't get it.
Okay. So the Twice impeached former president. Okay, didn't his camp use Taylor Swift in some type of advertisement where it looked like she had endorsed in some kind of way, trying to force her hand to come out and say she's not endorsing him?
Yes, she sent a cease and desist, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were using the AI.
But now her endorsement doesn't mean anything, but it meant enough to make up an ad to make it look like she was endorsing him.
Right.
Well, and to be clear, they thought she was going to endorse him. Like,
I don't know.
They fully expected to get the endorsement of Taylor Swift, only to be like, wow. Now, what I will say is I'm happy she was strategic about it this year, because she did endorse Joe Biden in 2020, but she did it
right. And
She's
they
very
make
late in the process. So she's moved it up by about 37 days from the last time when she endorsed in 2020. She didn't endorse, and she said that she regrets that she didn't endorse in 2016 because it may have been a very different outcome because she got a whole lot of followers, right? 285, 300 million followers. That's a lot of people, right? And you know, those people, what them Swifters or Swifties, whatever they call, they they
believe in her.
they believe, right? So if she said do it. Now, what I would love, and I would think it would be if say you can prove I do a free concert for those people who went to go vote for Kamala. Then I'll be like, all right, see, you all right with me. I mean, I appreciate her. I don't know none of her songs. I can't name a Taylor Swift song to save my life.
Me.
But you know, I'm appreciative that she went out and did what she's done. Now, if I could get some of our hip hop and R&B.
John Legend did.
John Legend.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, I'm not talking, but see, okay,
Oh,
yes.
you mean
Yeah,
your
But John
demographic
Legend
already
reaches like a very specific demographic of Black people.
Eminem did.
Right. Yeah, no, but no. So I need like,
You said hip hop.
yeah, but yeah, not him. Though. But I
That's
need
different.
like,
Beyonce husband.
no, like City Girls and Two Chains and Kodak
Megan
Black
Thee
and all those
Stallion.
people.
Lyric.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need you to make
I
that
Glorilla.
need
your
those
personal mission.
individuals
Yeah,
to
You should talk
endorse,
to them.
huh?
You should talk to them. We're gonna make that your personal mission.
I don't know them folks, but I'm just saying, like, I think those hip hop type, you know, I don't want to. Maybe a trap. Maybe if I just
Lil
specify
Wayne.
trap music artists, I don't know, but those like because John Legend reached a demographic of people who more than likely are going to vote anyway, right? So it's not. That's not who I want. I want the people who believe that they're voting Trump because Lil Wayne said, I rock with Trump. I want those people who rock because they Kodak Black, because he got Kodak Black out of jail. I need that group of people to realize that those folks are rocking with Kamala Harris. That's what I need so that we can move past the people. So the people who are infatuated with Trump gave $1,200 checks can say, oh, okay, well, they rocking with Kamala Harris. Maybe I need to do the same. That's what I need. I'm happy that John Legend has done it. I'm happy that Beyonce will be doing it or is doing it by virtue of releasing her song,
Rod Stewart,
licensing her song. I just need
reach the ones.
that demographic of artists. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that
See,
I do. I
That's
do,
the
but none of
demographic.
the names you mentioned have a fraction of her followers.
What about 2 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry has his books, right? You said you were gonna have your books.
The first one I done showed the last week, but I'm gonna show it again. The truth we hold.
The champ.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
American Journey. Definitely I'm gonna keep showing it up until the day she's elected president.
Yeah.
The next one is Stolen Legacy by George James. Stolen Legacy. And then Ancient Futures by Juan Bandler. Great books to read about our history. So if nothing else, I get it back to Derek.
Well, you have been with us. Thank you for taking this time. Give our condolences to those in Frankie Beverly's family, Rich Homie Kwan's family, James Earl Jones and his family, and anybody else who's lost some condolences. Please join us next week, same time, same place. Please don't forget to register to vote, sign up for Vote by Mail, and get active in the campaigns. Thank you so very much. You have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Right.